I'm late. 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 What song does, what, that was a cartoon or, I don't know what it was. But I'm late. Good morning. Happy Tuesday. Is that my dad in front of me? Yeah, that's my dad. He's gonna be like, why are you late? Well, if he sees me, he'll call me. He's too busy looking at traffic and not looking at me. So, I'm late. Okay, so we're supposed to take this online class. And we were gonna do it last week. She was gonna come to the office, my boss. And then she got sick. She had some sort of viral something or other. And thankfully, didn't want me to get it. Appreciate you, because there's nothing worse than people getting sick and then having you come over and then them tell you, oh, by the way, I've got viral meningitis or something, and you're like, why did you have me come? I mean, she doesn't have viral meningitis, but just using that as a for instance. Anyway, so we put it off till today, and she was going to come to the office. Well, last night she said, hey, the air conditioner people are coming tomorrow. She's been without air conditioning since, I think, Friday, in all this humidity. And why don't you just come down here at 11? We'll, I'll have the dogs here and all that, and we can stay upstairs and they'll be downstairs. But she don't want to leave the dogs and yada yada. She keeps her grand dog during the day. That was very hard to say. That was a lot of D's. Grand dog during the day. And as boy dogs do, he kind of likes to TT in new places. So she didn't want to bring him to the office because he would be running around TTing, because that's what boys do. Well, or at least the boy dogs I've had. So I was like, okay, that's cool. So then my mind goes into, what do I do? Do I work from home in the morning and then go down there and then go to the office? Because I have to go to the office to run credit cards and get the mail and all that stuff. So in my little mind, I was like, oh, well, I'll sleep in. Because anytime you can sleep in is great, right? I'll sleep in and work from home until 11. I'll go down to her house, and then I'll just go to the office. I'll stop and get lunch, go on to the office, bada boom, bada bing. I forgot to get a hair clip. I'm gonna be hot today. So I sent her a text. I said, I'll just work from home in the morning, come to your house, and then I'll go to the office, and that way I won't be so rushed to get all the stuff done at the office, before having to be at her house at 11. It was a great plan. Best made plans and all that stuff, So, I forgot to turn the alarm clock off. I have it set for Tuesday and Thursday at 6:20 because that's what time I have to get up to get to the office on time. Alright, well, I hit the off button on the alarm when it went off at 6:20, and I went right back to sleep and started having really weird dreams again. I don't even remember what these are about. I just remember waking up and thinking, what in the world? So I get up and I mosey into, I forgot to strap my bucket. I forgot to strap my bucket down. Anyway, I go in there and I'm moseying around, fixing my coffee, heating up my little blueberry muffin that I have for breakfast, let the animals to go out and roam around the yard and all the things, And then she sent me a text and she said, hey, it got really hot in the house yesterday, so I'll just come to the office at 11 and then I'll go get Max. And that, because every time he comes in the office, he pees everywhere. He just does. Her little girl dog, Coco, doesn't. She's used to being there, and I've just never known that to be a girl dog thing. Penny doesn't do that. The first time my dog went into my boss's house, Hi, editing. And I realized I never finished about Charlie. The first time he went in my boss's house, he walked over to her very nice ottoman and hiked his leg and peed on it. I was mortified. Of course, she wasn't my boss at that time, but I was like, he never, ever pees in the house. Ever. But another dog's house, another person's house, yeah, they pee. So, back to the story. See, Coco was his girlfriend, Charlie's girlfriend. And that's how I ended up with this job, because Charlie and Coco fell in love, and they would about pull us down to get to each other. And that's when she told me I could walk him in her yard. And anyway, then we would let Charlie and Coco play while we sat and talked, and that's how I ended up with this job. But anywho's, she said, I'll just come to the office at 11 with Coco. We'll take the class, and then I'll go get Max. And I was like, cool. Well, by the way, I'm going to be late to work. I'm going to be a little late because I turned my alarm off and I went back to sleep because I thought I was working from home, which she doesn't care if I work from home or I go to the office and if I'm late or not, but it's ingrained in me to not be late to work, right? Well, I would like to say that even though I slept an extra 40 minutes, it is 10 after 8 and I am almost to work. Yeah, so it's not too shabby. See, the problem was I didn't get anything done last night that I normally do at night in preparation for going to the office. So when I got up this morning, I kicked it in overdrive after I got her text, and I slapped on makeup. I just ran a brush through my hair. Thank God it wasn't so humid yesterday. I mean, it was hot, but it wasn't as humid. And so I didn't have sweaty hair. So I didn't have to wash my hair this morning. And yeah, so I took my bath and got dressed and got my makeup on and did all the things and walked Penny, and it's 8:10. So your girl can move when she needs to. Now I'm still having shoulder trouble, which is why I am filming while I'm driving, because holding my phone up in the air is not helping my shoulder right now. So, we'll have to work through that. But maybe if I can just let it rest for a day or two, you know, not walk around with it up in the air like that, because it's got my shoulder kind of pinched. You know, pinched? You know who pinched is? I gotta quit putting that behind my ear because it makes that flip stick out even worse. We don't need the flips sticking out worse, do we? Am I in the parking place? I need to move over. The way I come around the corner, I can never tell if I'm in this parking place or not. And I like to be kind, because this one time when I was very young and I hadn't been working at the sheriff's office very long, we had paid parking on the square. You had to be there a long time to get in one of those little parking spaces. Well, since I was new, we had to park wherever we could find a place. Well, behind the building, there was this tiny little parking lot. And if you got there early enough, you could get a parking space there. If you didn't, you had to park 3 blocks from the office and walk. Yeah. So I always tried to get there early so I could get in one of those parking places. Well, I had this little bitty car. I think it was a Chevette. I'm pretty sure it was a Chevette. And I got there and I backed into this parking space and I had room to get out. I didn't think a thing about it because I was in my parking space. And it was a gravel lot, so it wasn't like there was lines. Well, this deputy came in the next day, and I love her, okay? But that day, I didn't like her so much. She didn't like me at all. She lit into me because I was parked too close to her car. She was a round person, you know? And she wasn't a soft, round person. Plus, she had all the gear on. She was a deputy. And she could not get her car door open to get in her car. So, thankfully, it was a hatchback. I don't know why she didn't just come get me. She told me that she had to raise her hatchback and crawl through the vehicle. She had to take her gun belt off and all that stuff so she could crawl through and get in her seat. And I was like, sorry, I didn't have any trouble getting out, so I didn't think it was a big deal. Oh, goodness. All right, I'm at work. Toodles for now. Chat later. Okay, hi. Good afternoon. I am home from work, and it was a fantastic day. Fantastic day. How did the training go? I don't know, because they didn't call us. They were supposed to call us at 11 o'clock, and we were going to dial in and do some sort of online training. And after all the hullabaloo, whatever that word is, about going to work and not going to work and being late to work and all the things, yeah. They tried to call, or they said they tried calling her at 10, and she did not have a missed call, but she said, I'm not sure why you tried at 10 because our appointment was at 11. And so now it's Thursday at 11. So I hope we don't have to go through this again of her saying, just stay home, because I left all my stuff there. And I like going in, you know what I'm saying? She asked me today, she said, well, after you get lunch and all that, are you going to go home? I said, no. No, I like being here. And she looked at me like I was crazy. I said, look, I may be here alone, or as she says, with all my friends, but guess what? When I'm here, I don't have a cat wanting in and out, or a cute little puppy dog that wants to be held while I'm trying to work. Also, when I'm at home, I may or may not get distracted and start washing dishes or putting clothes in to wash when I'm supposed to be working. I called Jen today, or she called me, I don't know. One called the other, and she said, we were talking about business, and then she said, oh, I just realized I'm washing dishes while I'm working. I said, Jen, you're not alone. We all do it. It's hard not to when you're at home, because you walk in there and you go, oh, I'll just give these a quick wash. Run them through a quick wash, and then put them over there to air dry. Yes, and then before you know it, you're putting clothes in to wash. I said I was actually on a meeting, team meeting, and on the phone though, it wasn't on the Zoom. And Amy said, are you putting clothes in to wash or dry, whatever it was? And I was like, who wants to know? Perhaps. How did you know that? Over the phone. Oh, are you spying on me? I'm just kidding. Yeah, so no meeting. We'll do that again Thursday. We shall think about that another day, Scarlett. Yes. I thought of a funny story, but then I'm torn about posting what I recorded at work earlier. It might be a little less tasteful for some. It's just I saw a video this morning about Dear Jesus, help thy child. I saw a video this morning that I had made in, I think, 2021, and it was elevator stories from the sheriff's office, and I thought, I wonder if I've retold any of these. So I thought I would tell you a couple, specifically the one that made my head literally explode. Yeah, because this man, okay, so you walk up to the counter. Y'all pretend like you're behind the counter at the sheriff's office, okay? No. Y'all pretend that you're walking up to my counter and I'm going to tell you how to get to the elevator, okay? Okay, so y'all come up and say, how do I get to magistration court or masturbation court or whatever they called it that day? And I would say, elevator to the 3rd floor. And I would do the little hand gesture. I can't really do that too much because if I raise my arm, I'm going to scream. Anyway, yeah, elevator to the 3rd floor. Okay, so at the end of my counter, there's a door right here that's locked that comes in to our office, right? So you have to have an access card to swipe to get in behind the door. No big deal, right? Except this man goes over and he starts jerking on the door. And I said, no, sir, the elevator, which if you go to the end of that wall and turn, right there about a foot from that little corner, there's 2 big silver doors. Silver doors that open and close like an elevator. Yeah, that's where the elevator is. He did a complete 360. Where's the elevator? And I was like, right here. He turned around and he walked over to the civil window, which was down in the opposite corner. And then he turned around and come back to me. And he said, where's the elevator? And I said, right there. It's literally right there. I don't see it. And I was like, you've got to be kidding me. Sir, it's right there. If you turn your head, just like that, it's right there. Just like that. I said, no, the other way. That way. It's right there. He turned around and walked back out the door where he came from. And then he turned around and came back in. And I was still standing there pointing at the elevator. And they finally opened. And he goes, oh! And he goes and gets on the elevator. And I was like, am I being punked? I'm fairly certain that I'm being punked. And if he was doing that for fun, he almost caused me an aneurysm. But you wouldn't believe how many people could not find the elevator. I'm like, okay, it's a big marble wall. And it's got 2 silver doors that open and close. And it's got buttons that have an arrow pointing up and an arrow pointing down. And then above it, it has the floor numbers. It looks just like every other elevator, except maybe their doors are different colors. But you know, it looked like an elevator. It didn't look like a door. It didn't look like the civil window or their wooden door. It didn't look like the glass doors that you came from. It looked like an elevator. Oh my gosh. Yeah, crazy. And now I'm going to put in the videos that I took at work that you might not find as tasteful, okay? I ran out of toilet paper and I tried to make a funny out of it. So if you don't want to hear about my toilet paper woes at the office, then just leave now, okay? Because I don't want to hear your comments about that was TMI. Look, I know it's TMI. That's why I'm warning you, okay? Okay, I'll be back to say goodbye after those, okay? Okay. You know, hi, good afternoon. You know, when you're at the office all alone and you use the potty and you think, I need to grab some toilet paper the next time I come back because it's getting kind of low. Yeah. And then the boss stops by. She used the bathroom and you didn't really notice. And then you went to use the bathroom and you didn't really notice until afterwards. So I'm putting toilet paper in the bathroom. I mean, it's fine. That was a little. Paper towel will never hurt, right? As long as you don't flush it. Is this TMI? Yeah, probably. But you know, we've all been there, right? Right. If you say you ain't, you're lying, okay? Ugh, I'll be back. Oh, yes, and of course, I keep a stash in there. I do. But when guys come in on Monday and Wednesday, and they found your stash, and you didn't know they found your stash until it was too late So I'm gonna put another pack in there because I go to Costco and get the big ones, and that way I have typically have stash. We probably shouldn't talk about stash on a video because somebody might think we're talking about a different kind of stash, like a mustache. That wasn't the kind of stash I was talking about, but I'll be back. Okay, let me turn the air down because it's quite warm in here. I hate to admit this, but dearest Ryan, would thou please openeth this gosh darn soap? I cannot get that freaking thing off. No, I made my hand red just trying to get it off. So I'm gonna leave that for Ryan. All right, and that's it for this one. I hope you enjoyed it. Remember that I love you. Penny loves you. Jesus loves you. I hope he's coming back soon because people be crazy. And I will talk to you on the next Tracy Tries, which will probably be tomorrow, good Lord willing. Toodles, my noodles, and stay silly, my friends, okay? Okay, goodbye.